I got the power.
Since we don't have that much on the agenda, why don't we actually skim through the announcements?
All right, I got the first one. Arthur had a parting message in there. He left his personal email if anybody wants to reach out to him. I'm not going to read it, so it's not public, but if you have access to the document, you can read it there. The second one related about parting notices. It's that Mo is leaving us on the 13th. We're all very sad about it.
Mo, saying so. I've been waiting to say that for a long time.
And we'll be backfilling the role, but you've got a week to pick his brain if you have any questions, and feel free to reach out to him. Mo, any words?
For the viewers at home, my choice has no reflection on this team. This is an amazing team of people. Please come and join this team. This team's going to do amazing things, and I can't say that enough. If you do have questions and you do want to talk about it, feel free to connect with me one-on-one, and I'm here all week, folks. I'm here all week. And next week. That's all.
Thank you, Mo. You got the next one, Wayne?
So thanks, Mo. So we completed the Q3 OKRs with greater 100% achievement. Not that much more, a little bit more, I think, I don't know, 102 or something. We don't always need to hit 100%. We try to set them, make them aspirational. So they're actually hard to fully achieve. And actually, we did in many ways overachieve. Lindsay's team was asked to actually up one of theirs from doing, was it 6 Hamel to pajamas upgrades, and you upped it to 9. The team was able to do that, which is awesome. So good stuff there. Anything to add, Lindsay?
No, I think that we should try to be a little bit more aspirational in some of these, and accept that maybe we're not going to always get to 100%. But good job, team.
Yes. Woo! And we did some retrospection on what went well, what could be improved, things to try. That's kind of the format for that. So the link is there. Lindsay and Tiago and I pour over this, probably spend way more time on this than we should. But feedback from others definitely more than welcome. Anybody who watches this later, Mo or Jonathan or Sam, if you're interested, would love to have your feedback on them. And Lindsay, I guess you have the next items.
Yeah, so we talked last week about a couple of different training items. One was the diversity, inclusion, and belonging training, which I have a bit of an update on. And then the other one was feature flag training, which Wayne has an update on. So as far as the diversity, inclusion, and belonging training goes, we all knew that was a really time-intensive process. It was like 3 or 4 days. Fortunately, GitLab is developing some in-house training, which is going to be easier to consume and fit into your schedule. I don't want to discourage people if they're very interested in going through the full LinkedIn training. I found a lot of value in it, but this 1-hour course that will be, I don't want to say required, but we're going to have high achievement goals around it, especially in engineering, will be launched in early December. So if you'd rather save your time for that, we'll keep you posted on how to access it once it's available.
What's the difference in time? 1 hour versus
3 or 4 days?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I got a lot out of it too. We required, as Lindsay, I think Lindsay mentioned, we required all managers to take it. The 5 hours that for multiple days, probably 5 hours total. It was definitely interesting, but it is a big time commitment. So everyone's call if they want to do the full thing or they want to wait for the 1 hour crash course. And on the feature flag training, so this is a little different. This is not specific to our team. It's for all teams. It's something I'm working on with Marin and Ricky and others, is sometimes a feature flag change creates an outage. Sometimes any change creates an outage, right? But feature flag is just one type. And we've actually updated, Marin actually updated the handbook on when you change a feature flag, how do you determine if you should go through the change management process, which is great. That's actually in the handbook now. And then we also want to, Marin and others and Ricky put together a list of, here are things that people may want to learn on how to monitor the system after you make a change. And it's a first draft. I think it's 3 hours of YouTube videos and a couple handbook pages to read, which is too much. But So we're not actually asking people to take the training. We're asking people a couple volunteers to dog food it, to take the training, they give feedback so we can improve it. So Mo or Jonathan, if you or Tiago or Lindsay, if you're interested, great. If you're not, that's fine too. We're just looking for volunteers to give us feedback on it before we unleash it on all of engineering. And we probably won't make it required. It'll probably be maybe one person on each team should do it perhaps, and then train the rest. So that's at least what we're thinking. So Lindsay, you're halfway through the training now. What are your initial thoughts?
A lot of great information. I don't know if it makes a lot of sense for onboarding because at least with the videos, it requires a good amount of domain knowledge and understanding, some of the systems that we work with before you get into it. I've got a lot of feedback around. It's really hard to just watch videos and just video after video after video, putting some context around that, even if that's just links to the tools, links to related handbook pages, supporting information would be helpful. So I'm learning a lot from it. And I think that if anyone has targeted needs or, I really don't want anyone to learn how Prometheus works or, really don't get, this particular detail of how our monitoring works. It's a great list of places to go to find information.
Yeah, it's awesome. And yeah, definitely add that to the merge request with feedback that it's not good for onboarding. Yeah, that's a good point. Cool.
May I add one thing?
Absolutely.
So I just clicked on a couple links and I noticed Stan came up, and basically every video from Stan is amazing and worth watching. But so I know that I actually went through some of these videos already when I was on my on-call rotation, where I think it's when most beneficial because I was a little bit anxious. I was like, how do I know if there's an issue going to arrive? Maybe what I'll do is if there's no issues, I'll go through some of the videos so at least I know what systems to look at so I get a better sense of the health of GitLab.com so I can sort of anticipate an issue coming my way. Maybe that would be a good time to actually work through this. And some of the material I think is probably more relevant after you get to the 3-month mark, when I think that's when your on-call duties sort of start. And having this checklist as sort of a reference to go to. So as you do an on-call shift, if it's not as busy, you can maybe take the time to work through some of these items and get to know the systems that way. That's all.
Thanks, Mo. That's great feedback.
I'll probably be going through it, especially since I've got a feature flag out there that needs monitoring. Probably would be helpful for me to actually go through that to,
cool.
Past all the point and click trial and error stuff I've done already. Actually getting some more definitive stuff.
And that's a good segue as a reminder that we do have an OKR around everyone completing the feature flag training. Is that correct, Wayne and Tiago? Am I recalling that correctly? So we've got a link lower in the agenda, but if you haven't done feature flag training already, we'll be reminding folks about it in the future. And I couldn't get the numbering to work right on this agenda, but the last agenda item was that we've created these 2 wiki spaces, one for threat insights and one for container security for internal documentation. I think most of the things that we document are for the product, so it's customer facing, but this would be things that are. Tiago, do you have some examples of what we would want to be using the wiki space for instead of a handbook page or product documentation?
Yeah, so the reason it came up was with the staff changes in container security, we started discussing what's important for that team and how do we want to develop software. What are some of the things that we need to do as part of the SDLC, and the handbook can be a little bit heavy-handed for that. I'm thinking that maybe even some of the team processes, maybe they should belong in the wiki instead. We could look at moving them from our team page in there. But for now, that's what it is. It's mostly specific to container security. I'd like to expand it. Especially, we were talking about OKR, which I think we ultimately decided against. But we had an OKR about having a threat management wide discussion of how do we work, and I think the outcome of that, even if we don't do it as a key result, the wiki is a good place for it.
I think we do still have one around sort of the team contract, team agreement, and I think
That's the
it's
one.
right,
Is
right
it
in
still
that
there?
alley. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a good place for it. It's easier to edit, you know, it shouldn't be yeah, it doesn't need to be in about.gitlab.com and searchable. It's still transparent because it's still available. It's just yeah, probably something we need to balance the discoverability of that for other people.
Are they are these open to, this is really cool. Are these open to the world or only GitLab team members? If we can
No,
be
they're open.
transparent about them, that'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, they're open.
Some of the items from there actually become useful and tend to stick around. They might be worth getting back into the larger handbook. It's a good place to sort of test out the ideas before reintroducing or introducing them to the larger work.
Yeah, good point, Mo. No, we're gonna miss you, even though you just joined the team. It's great feedback.
I miss
insight.
you all already. This team is so great. Like,
Hey, you change your mind or it doesn't work out over there. You know, it's just a phone,
Oh,
just a Zoom call. So
You're always welcome to join our puzzles or draw a Saurus Mo.
Oh.
There's no end date on that offer.
I wanted to join Drawsource, I think it was yesterday, but I couldn't make it. I hope I can come in the future.
I guessed all my clues the first time.
We'll take any help we can get for Lindsay's impossible, like it's like the only thing worse is
I can see Sam, even though Sam's on mute, I can see Sam laughing. He must agree.
Next time we'll do like a snowstorm. It's gonna be like all white, just a complicated random noise.
You haven't looked at the autumn leaves lately, Tiago. I made magic happen yesterday.
Amazing. I'm joining.
You know, on that note, just an idea. Not sure it's a good idea. Do we want to invite our common community contributors to our Drawsaurus sessions?
That's a great idea.
I like it.
Yeah. I know we're gonna plan. We would like to continue to have community office hours, and I think that's a good place to sort of highlight that. But what I struggle with is the right way to communicate with those contributors. So maybe it's getting on the Gitters Slack channel more. I've been playing around with mentioning people and issues, but I don't often see a lot of response. So the challenge there is making sure that we share it widely. But I like that idea, Wayne. +1.
Okay. And Mo, you'll continue to be. Yay. Absolutely. So just a quick question, and if so, should we link our handbook team page to these wikis?
I think so.
You mean link to these wiki pages from our handbook team page? Cool.
And I'll add.
You seem to be thoughtful, Lindsay.
Yeah, the question that Wayne had around access, I know this is under our threat management project, so I know that anyone with inherited, I mean, it's all public unless if we make it confidential for any reason, right? They just won't be able to edit it or anything. Okay.
All right. Great. And that's all we had on the agenda. Anything else we want to discuss?
Sam, believe it or not, I'm going to miss you too. You are so focused.
Thanks, Mo.
You are so organized, and you don't say much, but you're a very direct speaker, and I really like the way you organize information, and you run Linux. So, Sam, I hope I see you again too.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it.
All right, I think we're done. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Everyone.